Welcome! In this video I'm going to answer some of the questions I have gotten from my previous video about the wing rack setup and show more details of the setup I have. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you do that first. I will put a link up there and then come back and watch this, because I might answer some questions that will rise from the other video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Árni and I'm a sound engineer living in Akureyri, Iceland. The start of this channel was actually when I was building this rack and I wanted to share my ideas on it. I'm going to start this video by listing some of the questions I've received, and then I will answer each one in detail afterwards, and I will put a chapter marker so you should be able to find the answer you're looking for. After I've answered the questions, I'm going to remove the wing from the rack and show you what's behind all the panels and what's inside the thing. The questions that I've written down that I'm going to answer are the following. How did I make these labels? How was the front panel made? How do I interact with front of house using this thing? How am I using the front screen of the device? What's the pinout of the Ethercon setup I have? What cables am I using for the Ethercon? What about the common ground for all the audio lines? How is the network setup? And how is the power distribution in here? The most common question I get is, how did I make those labels? I have my phone here so you can see the details. The short answer is I didn't make them. I had a friend and coworker make them for me. He used to work at a sign making shop and he drew the labels in Illustrator, printed them there, and then put them on the panel. The vinyl stickers are made at a sign making shop using a method called print and cut, where the thing is printed and then you have a machine that will cut the stickers, and then this is applied as a whole onto the panel. I plan on making a video on how these things are made at some point, when I get the chance and when we need to label something else. How is the front panel made? Where did I get it? This is just a 2U32 hole rack panel from Tommen, which I have filled myself with the connectors I wanted. So this is just put together. You can see the back of this once I open the thing up at the end of the video. How do I interact with front of house? Well, I don't. The shows we're playing are at small pubs where we don't have an engineer. We run the main out ourselves. I will try to do a virtual sound check at each venue. Otherwise, it's just hoping for the best. I have had a friend come and mix the first half an hour and then just set it and forget. But it's not the best thing, but it's the market I'm in. So we will just use the main left and right out of this for the PA. If I had an upcoming show where there would be a front of house engineer with a separate mixer, I would build a split. I have the design in my head. If I ever do that, I will make a video on it, but never ever 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 try to do a digital split. I will make a whole video on that. So just, no matter how many people on YouTube show you how clever easy it is, please, for the love of God, don't do it. As I said, there will be a whole different video. If that video has been released, it will be up there. If I will need a split for a show, I will build it and I will make a video. Alright, if that video has been released, I will link it up there. How am I using the front screen on the thing? To be honest, I'm not really using it that much. Like, most of this, yeah, I use it for some setup, but I don't really interface with the stuff that much. Like, I load the show, maybe do some minor adjustments, but when I'm playing, I always have a small tablet with me that's running Mixing Station, which I have set up to work with this. I actually got the cheapest Android tablet I could find at the local store. This is the Lenovo TB301FU. It's an awful tablet, to be honest. Like, using it for anything else than Mixing Station, it's a piece of crap. Like, just reading emails on it is annoying. But once I have the Mixing Station app open on it, it's perfect. It runs Mixing Station very smoothly, and yeah, it's just, I really love how compact it is. I will have this on a stand when I'm playing, and I will have it open, and I will show some favors. I can maybe see if this will open up for me. So I will have this running in front of me. I have the layout something like this. So that's just the bands. Then I will have a separate layer for vocals. And then I will have a layer for the effects. So I will always have this in front of me during a show, so I can always grab it if I feel like I need to change something. So I don't really use the screen that much at all. There are some quirks to it. I don't really like how it does. I can't really plug my in-ears into the headphones out and just do send some faders and have the solo bus follow that, so I can monitor the other outputs. I haven't really used that much, to be honest. What's the pinout of the Ethercon? I did show that in the previous video, and I have also made a few videos where I'm doing Ethercon breakouts. So I will put some of it up there. That will show the pinout and explain how it's done. What cables am I using for this? For the shows, I have Pro Snake Cat 6E that I bought from Tommen. I have a few different links of that, and for some of them I have taped PowerCon connectors to use for the pedal boards. Those are all shielded cables, which is very important when you're doing all this because it uses the shield as a ground. For the rehearsal space, we just use shielded cat cables from the electronics retailer store. It does the same job. The Ethercon is just more robust, but at the rehearsal space we leave the cables when you go play a show. And I have all the Ethercon cables ready in the bag to go because I use that also for some of my freelance work, so I don't want to tie them up into the rehearsal space, so we just have 2 sets of cables. I've gotten some questions on the Ethercon setup that it uses the common ground between the inputs and the outputs and the mics and the lines. I'm not an electrical engineer, but the whole thing is common ground. Like pin 1 on pretty much everything is connected together. And someone correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I'm just gonna grab my multimeter here and I'm just gonna check it. So now I have it into continuity mode, and let's see. Let's do kick pin 1 and snare pin 1. It has continuity. Like, does it really matter if I'm connecting it together inside the mixer or outside in the stage box? I have no idea. Let's do outputs. That's in-ear 1 left. That's in-ear 2 left. It also has continuity. Let's see. Let's do pin 1 here. Let's just do the chassis of the rack. Yeah, that also has it. Let's go to the back. Let's do pin 1 on the AES out and the rack. That has continuity. That's like, it's all connected to the same ground. Does it matter? I don't know. It hasn't been an issue for me, so someone smarter than me can probably argue that it does matter and we're ruining everything, but like everything it has the same ground, the whole thing. Yeah, like I can do the rack here and I can do the back panel. Yeah, so that's pin 1 on the 4816. Like, it's all common ground. Does it really matter? I have no idea. It works for me, never been an issue. So someone else asked about the network setup. Let's go to the back again. So as I said, there's the Unify Express in here. Let's maybe see if that phone can grab it. There's the Unify Express access point here, which is access point and a router. That has a WAN port, which I extended down to here. So what WAN allows me to do is, if I'm somewhere where there is an internet connection, I can plug that into this. So if I plug a live internet connection into the WAN, everything that the rack is connected to has internet access, but it's still running on its own local network within that. Inside the rack there's a 5-port switch which gets the output from this. 1 port feeds here into the back of the wing rack, with this blue connector here. One of them feeds into a dongle that powers this USB-C, and the 2 remaining ports are here on the front of the rack. Oh, no, my phone's in the way. So they're here in front of the rack, just labeled network, in case I need it. Like, this switch is impossible to get to, so I just thought I'd extend these to the front if I ever have any device that I want to connect into this network, my local closed network. I've also had some questions about the power. Do I use a power conditioner? No, I don't. Power in Iceland is generally very clean, and I've never in my professional careers really had an issue that is power related. Power conditioners are a good idea. If I was traveling internationally, I probably would have one, but they're expensive, they're heavy, and they're solving a problem I don't really have. But get one for you if that works for you. How is the USB powered? I will show you once I rip the thing out that there is just a small outlet inside which has a USB power supply which powers some of the stuff in the rack. Aren't those too many outlets? I have 6 here in the front, 5 in the back, I think. Yeah, that's 5. Not really, there's not much current being drawn here. I am a licensed electrician. I trust myself to make an informed decision on how much stuff I'm putting there. But the paddle boards which connect to the front, they don't really use that much power. I haven't measured it. I will do it at some point. But for show, I also have a few of those, which I sometimes use for whenever. But it's mostly like there are no amps on stage. It's mostly just phone chargers and stuff. I will power a small PA through this rack, like just 2 active speakers. I have the RCF 710. I would even do a small sub with that. If I have a bigger PA, that would be powered outside of this rack, but for like 2-3 wedges, this small PA, it's fine. Just for fun, I'm actually going to measure the current draw of this rack, how it is set up currently. And for that, I did a thing. So I made, this phone tripod sucks. Well, I did make a cable that I stripped the wires so I could measure single strands of wire to use my clamp to measure them. So let's see. So if you can see that, that's pulling 0.3 amps. We have 230 volts current, which means 230 times 0.3. That would be 690 watts, this thing. Of course, it's not running any audio, but like it will be put on a 10 to 13 amp circuit most of the time, so it's negligible. And don't worry, I'm not going to use this cable during the show. I just made it for the purpose of this demonstration. Yeah, I will maybe at some point when I have a show try to measure the whole current draw of the whole thing, just for fun. I think I've answered all the questions that I had. Of course, I've answered some of them in the comments already, but if you have any more, just please ask. Now I'm going to unplug the thing and I'm going to rip the wing rack out and show you what's on the inside. And that will be fun. So that's all the output. Everything is labeled here. So this is just how I have those channels labeled. It's just PVC tape, which I labeled with a permanent marker. There's red tape on the right channel because this is enough for what we're doing here. So I'll put all these. As you can see here, all of these are also labeled the same way as they are on the front. Like that's auxiliary 2. So all of these have labels, so I should be able to get it back together after I rip this thing to pieces. I hope. So when I'm doing this, I'm very glad I put the LED on the inside because it really helps out to be able to see what's going on inside the rack, especially on stage. It's usually somewhere in a corner. It's always dark on stage, no matter how much lights they have. So this LED in the back has been very valuable. So that is all of the cables removed. I haven't actually opened this thing up since I finished making it, so it will be fun to revisit it. Alright, that wasn't too hard. So, here you can see the back side of it. Up there on the right, there's the Ethercon cables. Then there are all the XLR cables. There's the power outputs, and that's in the middle there. Those are the two Ethercon through connectors for the network. So if I go inside, there's the network switch. This is just an old switch I found lying around. You can see here is the Ugreen USB dongle. And that's the stage connect output. Alright, so let's turn it around. Alright, so here is, you can see from the other side, like there's the Ugreen USB-C power supply. It's just a small outlet here. This is an AP9 junction box. So all the power goes into this junction box, and then we have connectors inside that connect everything together. Most of the things, it's either attached through screws into the bottom or just with Velcro. So that's the Ugreen USB-C power supply. So that's it. As you can see here, I had to run the cables along the sides to be able to fit the rack, because there's this plastic stuff here which got in the way, and I actually had to remove some materials. You can see where I've broken off the plastic. I had just a Dremel tool, and I had to remove some of the plastic here to be able to fit the cables here on the sides to go along. You can see there's the access point. So yeah, that's how it looks on the inside. There's not much to see behind the other panel, but I'm gonna, here we are on this side, and here on the back. Like these are all labeled since when I was wiring it up. You can see here it's soldered together, all the shields. These two cables here, I had two tails left over from all the snakes I did. And these are all built using these pre-made cables. I just cut one end off and put that onto the correct spot where I wanted it and needed it. So that's yeah. And an important thing is this ground wire. Let's see if I can see it with the camera, probably not. But both the front, oh well, so both the front and the back rails of the rack, they are grounded. You can see the grounding connection. If it will ever get focus over there. So I grounded the whole rack because I do have bare wires in here, which someone might argue I shouldn't do that, but that's pretty much the only way to do it. I know Neutrik makes some boots which I can put around the connectors, but it would still just be a pain in the ass. And this is inside the closed rack. I have no ways of getting my fingers in there. So yeah, sue me, but that's the way it is. I hope this clears up some of the questions you might have. I'm gonna put this back together tomorrow. It's late and I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, I'm actually going to use this chance to add one thing, which is an Bluetooth to AES EBU dongle I bought from AliExpress, which I'm going to try to put in here to use as to connect the phone just to play some music. Not sure it worked. I'll get it in here and connect it up, and yeah, I'll show you it. I'll probably just make a short on that if I get it running. That's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this setup, please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and watch some of my other videos. If there are any topics you would like me to cover, just put it in the comments or contact me on Facebook or Instagram, wherever. I'm glad to receive all input, and even, yeah, you can also send me hate mail if you really hate what I'm doing. Just also let me know. Look, everything I'm saying and doing is always my opinion. I try to stick to things I know. As of now, it's all somehow related to Ethercon connectors, but I will expand to other topics, I promise. If there are any topics you would like me to cover, just let me know. I have a big list of videos that I intend to make, and it's growing faster than I'm able to produce them because this is just a hobby. Like, this is the thing I do while my daughters are sleeping during the evening. Watch some of my other videos, they're fun, I think. I hope. Thank you for watching. Takk fyrir og góða nótt.